What is up, y'all? Welcome back to the MG Cup Series here on NBC. We are at Talladega Super Speedway, getting ready to kick things off yet again for the final race this weekend, the main event, the #1 show. It's here. We're ready to go right here, right now. You see the Monster Energy colors on that Ford machine of Chris Mack. No longer state water heaters on that car. I think I already explained that, but just in case you haven't been here, or in case you missed one of the previous few races, Chris Mack now in that 4-car, Monster Energy backing in that machine. Basically, they've been riding sponsorless all season in the MG Cup Series. Their longtime partner for Mack Motorsports decided to come aboard their Cup car and fill out that empty space. So here we are at Talladega, getting ready to kick things off with Chris Mack on the outside pole, Jimmy Johnson on the pole position. Then there's the 20 of Tony Stewart starting P3, and the 88 of Dale Earnhardt Jr. 2 is outside. And you've got another Papyrus Racing Mack Motorsports car, mostly Papyrus Racing car. That is the 86 of Fred Jones. Then you've got the 24 of Jeff Gordon starting to his outside as well. So I keep hitting the camera switch button and not the driver switch. But pace car is slowly making his way on the pit road. He's going to make that hard left-hand turn on the pit road. And the field will now be in the hands of the flag man as we come to start the race. The pace being set by the 48 of Jimmy Johnson. And here we go through the tri-oval. Remember the start-finish line, not in the middle of the tri-oval, but rather all the way down here towards turn 1. The green flag is waving, and we are racing here at Talladega. Getting up to speed as we head down the back straightaway for the first time. Johnson continues to lead his teammate. Junior looking to the high side as we go side by side down the back straightaway. And in the 3 and 4, Chris Mack is going to go with that 48 car to second place. 4 wide behind him. Contact and around goes Matt Kenseth up in the outside wall with Denny Hamlin. Clint Boyer's involved and they're hitting hard. Big time crash here at Talladega. Car upside down is Jamie McMurray. The big one strikes on lap number 1 as we come to the tri-oval to take the caution flag. Chris Mack looking high, pushes Johnson to the line instead. Caution flag will wave, and we got a bunch of them torn up here. What just happened? Right off the start, Matt Kenseth got turned sideways in front of the field. Everybody else had nowhere to go. And you see right there, the 17 just getting hooked and down on the apron and slid straight back up onto the racetrack. And you see how they got bunched up off turn number 4. Cars are everywhere there off turn 4. Racing through the tri-oval, you see nose to tail, lots of bump drafting. Very aggressive off the start, but we're going to try it again. Green flag is waving yet again here from Talladega. Let's try it again. 3 wide already behind our race leaders. Fred Jones right on the rear bumper of Chris Mack, pushing him through turns number 1 and 2. Big bump draft off of turn number 2. Now down the back stretch for the first time. That 4 car getting a great push. Johnson stuck in the middle as Junior went to the inside. Teammates 3 wide, or actually they're 4 wide down the back stretch with Fred Jones on the outside. Everybody trying to get in position to win this race as the Hendrick boys not working together on the restart and instead deciding to race it among themselves. Can they form up and get in line here? Potentially, that might have been what they were trying to do, have a car control each lane, and Jeff Gordon pulls up in the second. Chris Mack led that lap, now heads back down to the bottom of the racetrack. Mack continuing the lead here from Talladega as they're 4 wide behind them. Junior and Stewart on the way back to rear of the field. Shuffling around, cars everywhere down the backstretch. Biffle on the inside, trying to get a push, can't get much momentum. Here comes the one of Truex, big push for the 43, and now Labonte hops down low. He's going to go to the inside and make it 3 wide. He's got to run through 3 and 4. Getting a push, a draft from the 16 of Greg Biffle. Biffle's going to push him underneath the 4 of Chris Mack off turn number 4, but Mack still stays out in front. The 43 now tries the high side. Mack swings low. Big block on the 15 of Biffle. Now here comes everybody else up high, 4 wide behind him. And the caution is out. Look at Brian Vickers. Heavy smoke coming from that 83 car. What happened to him? Let's go back and find out to bring out the next caution in this race. And it was another big crash in turns 1 and 2. It's 4 wide. Oh, Sadler got misaligned and they just weren't lifting. And that's about 5, 6, 7 into the wall and more getting collected. Oh man, a huge hit for Ken Schrader and Matt Kenseth there. Debris flying everywhere. You see pieces of debris raining down at the edge of the camera lens. Or the frame, rather. Oh, Montoya got hooked up in that. Oh, hard hits. Kyle Busch hit hard as well. David Gilliland, serious damage to that 38 car, and then the 17 gets popped up onto his side. That's what all happened as Chris Mack led us back to the caution flag there. The 43 of Bobby Labonte in P2. Green flag is waving yet again. We're racing at Talladega, trying it for a 3rd time here. And look, as we head through 1 and 2, Chris Mack with the shorter way around, but no help on the bottom. The 43 and the 29 all lined up. Here comes Biffle with a push from behind. They're splitting that number 4 car down the back straightaway. Here comes Biffle. Huge push from the 2 of Kurt Busch. And he's got Jeff Gordon on his rear bumper as well. No room for error. Nobody lifting. Here comes Jimmy Johnson. Johnson's up into the mix. He's going to lock onto the 24's rear bumper. Tandem drafting as we've never seen it before. We usually see it with 1 or 2 cars, but these cars' bumpers line up so well and they're nice and gentle with it. They're getting 3 or 4 cars, and around goes Johnson. He's going to save it down in the grass. What a save by Jimmy as he was not clear, and they wrecked big time behind them though. Johnny Sauter and Paul Menard involved in this one on the front stretch. Caution is out yet again. What happened to Menard here? Let's see. Oh, the 70 of Johnny Sauter got hooked down into the grass, comes back up, and they go around into the outside wall, bringing out the 3rd caution of this race. So Biffle will be your race leader. It's been amazing racing out in front as we head back into it here from Talladega. Green flag back in the air. We're trying it again. Kurt Busch down to the bottom of the racetrack. No help for Jeff Gordon. A couple cars down on the apron. More contact being made. They keep it straight for now. Stewart's going to hop back in line with that 31 car. The 4 moves up in front. Everybody trying to get where the momentum is, and that seems to be the high side. As look at the run Jeff Gordon's got. Big push from Chris Mack. A nice bump draft down the backstretch there. Gave that 24 a good shot and a huge surge of momentum. Now Kurt Busch trying to defend the lead. Down on the bottom, protecting the inside as well as he can. He's going to wash up to protect the top on corner exit. Biffle hops down low with no help. And I believe we got a bunch of them actually heading down pit road. So that'll be interesting when they merge. 3, almost 4 wide. Down in the turn 1, and it is going to be 4 wide for the race lead. Kurt Busch way up the racetrack. Luckily, they have space for that. A big push from the 5 of Casey Mears. Going to move that 29 car up the racetrack. Now Mears has no help. He's going to be stranded down low. The 29 of Harvick went up the block. Now Mears getting the push. Harvick goes back down in front to block Mears. Down in the turn 3. Still 4 wide throughout the pack. what he needs to do, who he needs to be in front of, as he's stuck right in the middle. And we got cars merging from pit road. As I mentioned earlier, this would happen. They're trying to stay low and out of the way. Michael Waltrip moves down to the inside. Jeff Gordon's going to squeak by just on his outside. They're doing a great job staying out of the way for now, but that's not going to last long. Paul Menard way off the pace, heading through 3 to 4. What is he going to do? Well, we might have a wreck, so that almost wasn't even relevant, but Fred Jones does save it, and I think we will have a caution. No, we won't. We're going to keep it green for now. Can the field navigate past Paul Menard in the 15? Quickly, smoothly, and safely. Here we go. On board with Chris Mack. And his teammate Fred Jones, side by side back here, trying to get sorted out. They're watching as the field gets checked up. This will be their opportunity to catch back up. They've got a huge run. Look at the momentum they have. Nowhere to take it. Look at this. Everybody right on the rear bumper of the car in front of them. Bump drafting like we've never seen it before here in Money Car. The top two breaking away from the field. As it's going to be, or rather, that's the top three. This is going to be Harvick, Busch, and Johnson in front of the pack. Everybody else trying to file their way through. Contact! Stewart's around. Chris Mack into the back of him. Up on the two wheels is the 28 of Travis Kvapil, and another big crash breaks out at Talladega, bringing out yet another caution. Mack destroyed. Jeff Burton's car is done. Look at Fred Jones caught up in that. He's got damage. The 5 of Casey Mears has damage. Things were going so well until they weren't. More cars slow as they catch the 28 of Kvapil there. Val Wolf checked up. You see Kevin Harvick won the race back to the caution. Boy, oh boy, here we go. Man, what happened here? Oh, looks like pushing through the corners. Tony Stewart opened the door just a little bit. The Ford did not lift, and around they went. Back up the track and collecting more. So now that leaves us with about 5 or 6 good cars left, unless the 15 escaped without too much damage. Actually, he's already lapped. Unless the 24 escaped without too much damage. Should have about 5 or 6 good cars left in the race. Very unfortunate for everybody caught up in that wreck, though. That'll reset everything here. Dale Earnhardt Jr. seemingly still somewhat up to speed. If he's not a lap down, he might have a shot to win, and he's still in the lead lap, so we're good. We might have a few more cars in contention. We'll find out here on the restart. Green flag back in the air. Edwards with a great jump on the restart. He's going to take the lead and clear Harvick down into turn 1. Riding on board with Dale Earnhardt Jr. back here as he tries to work his way up through the field. Cuts down low underneath Chris Mack, or rather underneath Menard. Now Mears now under Chris Mack. 3 wide back here. He's trying to stay in the draft of the car ahead, and that's Martin Truex Jr. Wants to make sure that lead pack doesn't get too far out in front, or he can get to the front. Wants to stay in the draft. Gets held up by the one of Truex. And I think that's it for his chances. He just got checked up big time there. I don't think he'll be able to have a shot to get up there and catch those boys. One car barely hanging on to the draft. Mark Martin in that 8 car. Just hanging on to it. As Junior goes up high, gets by a couple more. Oh, and Edwards blowing up in front of the field. Can they get by him? Carl Edwards smoking heavily, trying to get down the racetrack, trying to get out of the way. Finally gets down under the apron, and that's going to be the break Junior needed. A lot of these guys need it. Look at the push the 20 got from the 88. Pushed them right up to the rear bumper of the 12. Everybody got checked up as the caution is out, and we're going to have another restart here at Talladega. Racing back to the caution flag. Jeff Gordon's going to lead. Greg Biffle to the line. Johnson edges out Harvick. And we're coming to the restart. 4 laps to go. Here we go from Talladega. We back up the speed here. Dale Earnhardt Jr. trying to stay in the draft. Doesn't have quite the same acceleration as the guys up front, but still trying to stay. He knows he's fast enough. Oh, excuse me, to stay in the draft. Just trying to stay close enough to be in range of the draft as Chris Mack tries his best to stay in draft distance. It's not going to happen for him. 4 wide through turns 3 and 4. Here comes Jimmy Johnson on the inside. No help back there. Down on the apron. Somebody. They're going to keep it straight. Side by side. Here comes Jeff Gordon with another run up high. Johnson down low with no help. Trying to defend, doing everything he can. Now he's going to get a big push from the 2 of Kurt Busch, but it's too little too late. Gordon is clear. He's out in front. Here comes Gordon to the lead. Can he get down in front of that 48? Yes, just barely does. Contact. Johnson gets hooked under the apron. He saves it. Nose to tail up high is Dale Jr. and Greg Biffle. Down the back straightaway, Harvick trying to look to the inside, wants to keep his nose down low, knowing they're going to swoop back down to the bottom. There they go, to the inside. Hendrick teammates, 1, 2, looking at maybe 1, 2, 3 if Junior can get the run up high, as Johnson and Gordon clear ahead of the rest of the field, coming to take 2 laps to go. The penultimate lap here from Talladega. Big push from Mark Martin to the rear of Kurt Busch. Here comes Kurt. Where's he going to go? Ex-teammates, ex-Roush Racing teammates to the rear bumper, and now splitting it through the middle. 3 wide for the lead. Martin goes high, going with his fellow Chevy driver, Jeff Gordon, keeping them side by side out in front. Martin scoots way up to the high side. He's going to hop back down low, try and get back in the draft, and try to rebuild some of that momentum. Here comes Biffle. Speaking of the Roush Racing boys, here's Biffle, ex-teammate of both of those drivers. He's looking to the inside. Kurt Busch, big push for Jeff Gordon. Junior stuck in the middle as we come to the white flag. 1 lap to go here at Talladega. Boy, oh boy, it's all coming down to this. 3 wide here at Talladega Superspeedway. 1 lap to go. Down a back straightaway for the final time. Johnson defends low. Here comes Biffle up high. 3 wide behind him. Multiple rows of tandems. They're all coming with a huge run on Johnson. As we go through the middle is Junior and Martin. Here comes Harvick to the inside. Down the front straightaway for the final time. Jimmy Johnson gets a push from Dale Jr. Now they're going to be 3 wide coming to the tri-oval. At the stripe, it's going to be... Waiting for the ticker is Harvick. Kevin Harvick. Where did he come from? Harvick steals it in the closing feed at Talladega. 3 wide. Photo finish at the line. I cannot believe what we just saw. Watch this. Slowing it down. I mean, by that much. It's easier to tell by the rear of the cars. That's how close it is. Just looking at the rear spoilers, you can tell that 29 car is out in front. That's 1/1000th of a second. I'm not making that up. I do remember now seeing the results of this race. I saw the margin was 1/1000th of a second. I didn't see the finish. This is insanity. Harvick just holds on to win at Talladega in an remarkable last lap turn of events. Let's ride on board with that 29 car for the entire final lap. He was back here, probably thinking he had no shot at winning. Running P6 at the time we took the white. Pushes Biffle past the 88 on the bottom of 3 wide. Gets a great push from the 12 of Newman as well. Biffle goes up, trying to get in the draft of Johnson to set up a move. He's going to go high, believing that's the way to go. Believing that's the lane that's going to have the momentum. Here comes the 88 of Junior back on the inside. In the middle, 3 wide as Biffle got shuffled out. Now here comes the 29 of Harvick. He's got a huge run. Johnson doesn't know where to go. 3 lanes. He's going to block the top, expecting the middle or and the bottom to stall out. But Harvick just has enough momentum and just has enough help. Look at the push he gets from the 12 to hang on and win. Wow. What a finish here at Talladega. I cannot believe it. We're going to watch it one more time off turn number 4. Harvick down low. Junior up high. Tried to push his teammate, then decided to pull out and try to go for it himself. Probably thought that push was enough for Jimmy to hang on, but ultimately that was not the case. And Kevin Harvick is your race winner here at Talladega. An amazing move on the final lap. But Harvick comes out victorious. We only had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 cars left in the lead draft by the end of this race. But that's all we needed to make things spectacular. This new style of racing at Talladega, hopefully, is here to stay for a long time coming, because that was amazing, folks. I hope y'all enjoyed. If you did, please hit that like button and subscribe. I hope to see y'all next time, and until then, peace.